show you our equipment room here. So we want to talk about COVID-19 for a few minutes. Matter of fact, we're running less ventilators right now than we would normally run. And that's because people are just staying home. They're not having elective surgeries. I want to talk about the numbers and the criteria that goes into what a COVID patient is, or a patient under investigation, what's also called a PUI. Basically right now, and the way it has been the last couple of months when they locked us down, is that any patient that came in with a respiratory problem was labeled COVID. Now that doesn't matter if it's you got stage 4 lung cancer and pancreatitis and heart disease and liver failure and everything else. You're still, because you come in with breathing problems, you're labeled a COVID patient. So several of these patients under investigations were never tested, and maybe they died or whatever. Then they would die of COVID and not of stage 4 lung cancer or these things. This is clear that this is what's come out. Every single patient that needs one of our pieces of equipment here, any of this, if they need any of this stuff, okay, then they are a rule out COVID. So you have to recognize that if every single patient is under COVID investigation and dies, then that goes into a COVID death, and they're showing the numbers like a football game to scare you. They're showing you loading bodies into a tractor trailer to scare you. I've never in my career ever seen bodies loaded into a tractor trailer. It just doesn't happen. I wonder if those were even bodies. I really don't believe it. All of this stuff is fake. Okay? This is unbelievable. Every bit of this has been created, okay? But you also want to ask, why is Ford and GM in the business of making ventilators when we have plenty of companies that already make ventilators, you know? What kind of ventilator is it? What does it do? Who's going to train us on those ventilators? And, you know, how's it going to be tested? And then, what is the cost per ventilator that the United States is paying Ford and GM for these products that really aren't obviously needed? So all this talk you hear on the news by the governors and everybody else, we're having shortages of ventilators. It's not true. It's not true.